Good morning, folks. This is Rex at the Buckeyenest, and we're out here at the Dayton, VA. And I've got a gentleman here with me, and he's the committee chairman for a pretty intense program he's trying to get organized here. His name's Walt Harrison. He's with the American Veterans Heritage Center, and Walt wants to tell you a little bit about his project, his dream.
Good morning, Rex.
Good morning.
The American Veterans Heritage Center came about as an outgrowth from a previous 501c3 organization that I helped to create. That program specifically was the Friends of the Soldiers Home. In November, December of 1999, Dale Huffman, God rest his soul, the Dayton Daily News writer, had an article entitled, "Does the Chapel Have a Prayer?" And in that article, he expressed that the Protestant chapel at the Dayton VA had been closed under the Clinton administration and its austere budget. I felt there was an injustice in that particular situation because that chapel was created by the hands of Civil War veterans and stayed open for over 135 years. In talking with some people, I felt that there was probably something that we could do and encourage Congress to reconsider closing that Protestant chapel. That effort began, and over a period of several years, the federal government got on board with our thinking and decided to keep the Protestant chapel open, but that was entirely because we had worked to raise a considerable amount of money to keep those doors open. So a public-private partnership between local citizens in the Dayton area and the Dayton VA and Congress was enacted to create funds to refurbish the Protestant chapel at Dayton VA. But as time went on, we realized that a larger purpose faced the organization, and that was the need for additional veteran services and voices from citizens to promote further interest in Congress to take care of our veterans. As a kid, I grew up in the Dayton area, only about 6 blocks away from the Dayton VA. Both of my parents were involved with government support work through General Motors and Inland Manufacturing, and my mom helped us tremendously by getting veterans to come down, help the Cub Scouts when I was a little kid. And we would in turn come back up, visit with the veterans, play checkers with them, talk with them, learn a little bit about their experiences, and we felt that there should be something more as a community effort to support veterans issues here in the Dayton area. So as time went on, the growth of the American Veterans Heritage Center started taking shape. So we rolled money that we had raised in the Friends of the Soldiers Home into the American Veterans Heritage Center as seed money to get that growing. That purpose has continued on, and currently we're working on a specific project to help memorialize and share with the public the intrinsic value that the veterans have shared with us through their work, their sweat, their tears, and the giving of their blood as necessary in military service. So recently, I say recently, almost a year ago, the AVHC, as we shortened the name, American Veterans Heritage Center, allowed me to create the Veterans Memorial, the American Veterans Heritage Center, or AVHC, Veterans Memorial Walk of Honor. We also refer to this as the Defenders of Freedom Veterans Memorial Walk of Honor. And that is really an effort to do a couple of things. Number one, we're trying to raise money for the repair of the pipe organ in the Protestant chapel on the grounds of the Dayton VA. But more importantly, to give an opportunity to friends, families, fathers, mothers, sons or daughters, or other folks who may have served in the United States military or supported our military efforts. And I use that last part of the expression because we have people who worked for General Motors who helped build the tank treads for our Sherman tanks. At General Motors Inland Manufacturing, they were also one of the major manufacturers of the M1 carbine. My dad was a supervisor on the M1 carbine manufacturing process. My mom worked on every aspect of the M1 carbine milling, drilling, machining, polishing programs. We have people here in the Dayton area who never had a military uniform on, but worked at Monsanto Laboratories and helped us to develop our nuclear capabilities right here in the Dayton area. So in one sense, although they are not veterans in a uniform, they are veterans in the spirit of support of the United States of America.
If I might add something, Walt, I get out around the countryside doing interviews with people and doing recordings for Welcome Home project I'm working on for Vietnam veterans. And I always remind those people, and that what you just spoke about there falls right in line with this, and I want to take this opportunity to say it again. I'm a veteran myself, United States Army, tanks. I didn't serve on the Sherman tanks. I was later on the M60A1s. Mm-hmm. But when I look at people and I say to them, "You're a veteran, and do you know how?" They look at me kind of funny, and I say, "We can't do what we do if you don't do what you do." And it doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter because it all interacts and interlinks in some way, shape, or form. So
our lives are all touched by what you just said.
You're part of the team, and I tell these people that all the time. You are part of the team, and don't ever let anybody try to undermine you with that thought. So, all right. So let me ask you another couple questions. We're looking at this sidewalk right here. Is this where the? I'm assuming this is where your paver program is going to start out.
Yeah, Rex. This would be phase one of the Veterans Memorial Walk of Honor. On either side of this sidewalk, you see right now mulch and vegetation. The vegetation will be moved out a couple of feet. Imagine just about an arm's length on either side of this sidewalk. We will have a Veterans Memorial Walk of Honor. Paver stones will be laid where you now see vegetation up to and surrounding the American flagpole. Okay?
Okay.
That would be phase one.
So let's get this visualization around the pole first here.
As we move forward and create this visualization, this would be, again, phase one of a long-range project that I think will outlive both you and me as we're talking and conveying this idea. Phase two will then go from here, I'll step in front of your camera,
okay,
onto the gazebo.
All right.
Okay. Phase two would then go from the gazebo back out towards the parking lot area.
Okay.
Okay. And then as we progress over the years to come, is we're in one sense we're not just looking at today's veterans, Okay? This could be veterans of years past, World War II or other conflicts, Grenada, Vietnam, whatever the genre, the generation. These paver stones that might be purchased by family members or friends will line the pathways around the Dayton VA. The next phase would be not far from here, next to the Putnam Library. And taking a walk from the Putnam Library onto the west, there is a walkway.
And I might ask you now, that pink building over there, or whatever the color of it is, that is the Putnam Library we're talking about, right?
It is.
Okay.
That was donated, the library and its contents were donated by the family of a Civil War veteran. And that Putnam Library that we're talking about is also the home domicile of the American Veterans Heritage Center and the Miami Valley Military History Museum.
Okay.
Phase 3 or 4 then of this project would extend from Ohio Avenue that the Putnam Library faces onto and continue to parallel Kentucky Avenue past the VA security office.
And that's the VA security or the VA police are in that building right there we're looking at with all the big windows closed up and so that's phase 3 and 4 is going to continue down past them.
Beyond that, in history that may outshadow my lifetime, we will continue down Ohio Avenue past the Protestant chapel and past the Catholic chapel to the west or left as we're looking at this visualization right now, on towards the National Cemetery. We can go back in history and maybe look at other alternatives that somebody else in the future might want to express. I'm going to ask you to stop here and just take a look at the building directly in front of us at this time.
Okay.
This was initially the home of the National Veterans Administration, was the National Veterans Home, okay? And that remained the national headquarters for the VA up until about the 1950s. The specific dates, perhaps Glenn Costi could give you more exact times. Okay? So, what this is all about is paying tribute to the men and women who have served our nation in its time of need, its time of conflict, and its time of peace. Because the veterans do not simply cease to exist after conflict takes place. We have to maintain a sense and a reality of preparedness for something else that may occur in the years to come. The Lord only knows, the outcome of our lives, but as we look around us and realize that what we have today is available only because the veterans throughout history have laid down their lives and provided the services necessary for us to enjoy the life we have in the 21st century.
I have a question, Walt.
Yes.
Now, in the strictest sense of the definition of the word veteran, as we all know it today, are you a veteran?
I am not a veteran.
I am
not a veteran who wore the uniform.
Right.
I am a veteran who has served throughout the years and continues in this particular situation for 16 years to support the mission and support of those who did wear the uniform and those who also helped to shape our nation. So I am what you might call a civilian soldier.
Yeah.
One that never wore the uniform of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. While in college, I was a technical photographic person in charge of a small laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Wow.
I was still in college when I was doing that. 2 years after college, I was married while I was in college. I was a public school teacher.
Okay.
But now it's time to pay forward in reflect to all of those others who have worn the uniform. My brother was in the Navy. I've got a son-in-law right now in Navy Seabees. Excuse the distraction there. He deployed on Veterans Day 2015 to Bahrain. He'll be there until Veterans Day 2016 or somewhere thereabouts, helping to secure our nation's interest in the Middle East.
What's his name?
His name is Evan Zomdick.
Evan
C-U-M-D-I-C-K.
Say hi to Evan, Walt.
Hi, Evan. God bless you, my friend.
God bless you too, Walt, for what you do out here, because this is an awesome place, this campus. A lot of times you hear nothing but bad about the VA, but the thing is when you hear nothing, that means the VA is doing something right, because you rarely get anything good about the VA through the media. So thank you for what you've done out here. And this is, as you say, a project that will go well beyond our lifespans. But the best part about it, Walt, we'll be able to look upstairs from down here and see what's going on and enjoy the view, won't we?
Let's go back for just a second to the aspect of the project itself. What I mentioned as we initially took a walk down the walkway to the flagpole, we will be offering a memorial paver stones, red bricks, laser engraved for persons who want to memorialize or recognize the contribution of their father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, friends, or neighbors who did serve our country, whether it was in uniform or in their hearts as veterans.
Okay, now, brought up another question. Do you have a website that people can go up on to make the donations through, or maybe print out a donation form or something of that nature to get that process started for you?
That website is up and running. I have a brochure that I will offer to you that will have the website spelled out.
Okay.
But in case someone is looking for general information about the American Veterans Heritage Center, that website is a long website named www.americanveteranswiththesheritage.org. O-R-G.
Right.
So that way you can learn more, even at the present time until I get that brochure into your hands with the website for
I believe I have one of those brochures already.
Okay.
Do you have a phone number people can call you at about this project?
Oh, people can contact me directly at my business office at 836-9681, or if they have time and have a chance, they can contact the American Veterans Heritage Center. If I may have given away my last cards for today until I reload.
I can fix that for you.
Thank you.
I've got that information.
Okay.
So, all right, folks, this has been Rex at the Dayton VA campus here in Dayton, Ohio. Walt, was talking about the Protestant chapel, and we'll do a short little thought process here. Walt, I understand that the inside of that place was real bad until the AVHC started helping getting money put together for it.
That is correct, Rex. What you're focusing on at this very moment is the modern day asphalt shingle tile roof. The original roof on the Protestant chapel was slate tile with a different color tile, not like the slate blackboard, but there was a different color tile that formed the light color. Well, those nails were driven into the wood around 1890 to about 1920. And those initial nails eventually rusted over the years, collapsed, and large holes formed in the wooden substructure underneath the tiles. When a roof starts to fail, sooner or later, the floorway will start rotting, and that's what took place in the main area of the Protestant chapel. Once that floorway gives way, the substructure, the supports from the basement, begin to collapse also. And that was what was taking place before we got started, about year 2000. So from that point on, the first thing to do was to try to raise money to take care of re-roofing and replacing rotted subroof areas, and then taking care of the flooring and subflooring and posts from the basement that held the building up. So all of that has been accomplished. We've got new seating, we've got new flooring, we've got new carpet. The interior surface of the walls has been recoated, but the voice of the pipe organ that was installed in the chapel, by the way, that's one of the first pipe organs that existed all throughout the Miami Valley of that caliber. The only other one of that level is still in operation at the Masonic Center in downtown Dayton. But our initial purpose is to raise funds through the sales of our paver stones in order to pay for the cost of reconstructing the sound, the voice, and the spirit of the pipe organ in the Protestant chapel directly behind me. That's
pretty awesome. I've been in there many times since it's been refurbished, and
well, you know, Rex, one thing gives me a great sense of pride in the effort that a large team of people, this is not just me, okay? The American Veterans Heritage Center has a board of trustees that's numbered about 16 people, but it's a team effort that has then reached out all throughout Ohio. But the purpose of this mission of creating a Veterans Memorial Walk of Honor shouldn't stop or solely take place at the Dayton VA, because this could be at VA facilities and cemeteries all throughout the nation. But as you and I are communicating right now, part of the purpose is to help create an awareness in our youth and in our young adults of the immense contribution that has been made by our nation's veterans throughout the years. And this is something that is really not taught all that much in school. So that is part of our endeavors to help create an outreach of communication about the purpose of the veterans' missions, not just while the military was wearing the uniform, because as I'm talking with you, You're a man in civilian clothes right now, but you are still a veteran in the heart and in the mind.
Oh, yes.
And as we talk about in the mind, some of the men and women that I've met are still suffering from PTSD. And you do not necessarily have to be in a mortal combat to suffer from the stress of PTSD. It can happen.
That's right.
And we need to take care of those people for as long as they live, if necessary, to help combat the stress and strain that's placed on their minds. At one of our recent functions, I was asked by a former military man, are you going to have fireworks at that activity? I generally think of fireworks as something beautiful display.
Right.
His question really sunk into my mind, because those fireworks meant something else to him.
Right. Yeah. I got to bring up one more point for you. And we're all looking at that Protestant chapel there, folks. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of General Edwin Meckenbauer?
Absolutely.
March 30th, folks, we had an event inside there, and I'm going to add some of that video to this, because General Meckenbauer was a prisoner of war in Vietnam for 6+ years. And I recall him during that event, and you'll like this part. He literally says in the video, this chapel has come a long way, because the last time I was in here, you couldn't walk on the floors. There was holes in them, and you had to walk around the outside. So he was thanking the people who helped put all this together. I thought you might like that.
Let me share one little tidbit about Ed Meckenbauer. We're contemporaries. He's a little bit older than me. He has sat over the years as a part of our board of directors for the American Veterans Heritage Center, and even previous to that, the Friends of the Soldiers Home. But Ed Meckenbauer is a man of many strengths. And as a side note, from all of his military strengths, as a kid, I used to play baseball against Ed Meckenbauer.
Okay.
I was never able to get on base against Ed Meckenbauer's pitch.
He was a pitcher, huh?
He was a pitcher, and I was simply a batter and a base runner. But a remarkable man is he. He still is.
Yeah, it takes a real strong willpower to survive what he survived for 6 years in enemy hands.
Absolutely.
And I won't get into what he was subjected to, folks, but if you just think about some of the worst evils you could ever think about in your entire life,
Absolutely.
that's what happened to our veterans during the Vietnam conflict. So, okay, Walt, you're a pretty awesome man, as I said. We need to get some money put together for this, folks. We need to get this out here. This is Walt's dream. He sent me an email, and he referred to this project as his dream. And if you've been watching this video, you can see this is Walt's dream. Until next time, this has been Rex and Walt Harrison out at the Dayton VA.
God bless you.